Hey, what's going on YouTube? Welcome back to Scents of South Jersey with me, Kellen, for another fragrance video. Today, we're gonna be taking a trip back to the barbershop with 8 awesome barbershop style fragrances. These are going to be classics. Some of these are going to be ones you've seen in the channel before. Some of them you may have seen them, but it's been a long time. But again, these are awesome barbershop style, old school, classic scents. Some are even great alternatives to more expensive discontinued fragrances. So before we jump into this list, if it's your first time here, make sure to go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you enjoy the type of videos that I create. If you have an Instagram, go ahead and check out the Instagram page at Scents of South Jersey. Follow it if you'd like to see photos of fragrances from my collection, news and updates on the channel, when the next video is going to drop. It's also a way to contact me. And I have a Mercari page, guys, and that's where I sell off things from my collection, things you've seen on the channel and videos that I'm no longer wearing to make room for new fragrances to continue to make new videos about. So again, that link is in the description, along with a link for Eros Perfume Outlet via eBay. They are an eBay store, and if you message them and say that you heard about them from Scents of South Jersey, they will give you 10% off, and the instructions along with the link are in the description, along with the discount link for Masudo button downs. They're cool pattern button downs, 40% off the retail cost right on the direct website. That link is also in the description. But anyway, let's take a look at these aromatic fougere old school barbershop scents. Okay, let's start this list off with my scent of the day, and that's going to be Bogart Signature by Jacques Bogart. I believe this one came out in 1975, if I'm correct. This is like an older tester bottle, and you can see that, right? You know, it has it right there, aromatic fougere, then it has all the notes there. It's gonna be a little bit blurry, but man, this stuff, I know when I initially got it, I thought it was okay. And then I think I've revisited it about maybe almost a year later, and when I really discovered what type of fragrances I liked, and you know, it blew me away. It's an inexpensive scent, although I don't know if it's discontinued or not. I see it on some sites, I don't see it on other ones. Either way, if you love fougères, you love green, I just sprayed some on. Let's get some of that opening here. Decent sprayer. Just look at it, the gold. I mean, like, it's very classic, very like 70s looking, and doesn't matter what formulation you get. That's the cool thing about this fragrance. It all smells awesome in my opinion. And there's sort of a darker citrus in the opening, but it immediately has this like cedar and woods and then moss. Green, dark, a little musky, but there's a freshness there too. It's a scent that, you know, you feel put together when you wear it, and it definitely is like an old school barbershop scent, like something where you might have a barber at the end spray some in their hand, and you know, if you got your neck trimmed or something like that, and it's a real masculine scent. It's nothing that's going to be spectacular in terms of projection, but it does last a decent while. But it doesn't matter because it smells so good. You know, Bogart Signature, probably the best of the Jacques Bogarts, really. There's, you know, I like One Man Show, I love Eau Fresh, but this one definitely is probably my favorite Jacques Bogart. And I'm trying to think if there's another one that I really love that I've tried, but can't think of it at the moment. Either way, this one's awesome and amazing, old school, and right now you can still get it for a good price. Okay, up next is going to be a cousin, and I think it's the predecessor to Bogart Signature, and it's Paco Rabanne Pour Homme. This is a little bit of an older bottle. Again, the current formulation I love. I think it's a little soapier. The older ones are a little bit greener, but still soapy, still green, and it's so classic, so barbershop. Let's put a little on a tester strip here. You know, this one opens up and it's sharp green rosemary. And I've talked a lot about this one before. Of course, it's had its own review, but it's good to revisit these on the channel once in a while. And it just has, like, I think there's even a slight hint of honey in there, but it's a really fresh, you know, citrus and green scent. And it's also got a mossy, soapy dry down. Paco Rabanne Pour Homme is a quintessential barbershop scent. When you think of what Paco Rabanne releases now, it's so far removed from something like this. And, you know, the things I noticed with the older bottles, it's a little bit more herbal, a little more green, earthy, mossy, whereas the new ones are green and sharp, but they're definitely soapier, much quicker, where the soapiness comes in with this once it's been on your skin for a while. Great performer, smells so clean. It's again, a super masculine scent. And I go back and forth about which one I like better. I know at times I've said I've liked this better than the current version of Paco Rabanne, but the vintage, it's confusing. And either way, an amazing classic men's fragrance. Again, formulation-wise, don't sweat it. Either one I think are great, but Paco Rabanne Pour Homme is an awesome barbershop scent. Okay, up next we have another 70s classic. This is Azzaro Pour Homme. I made sure to buy the big bottle. I absolutely, love this one. This is one, again, that it took me a while to come around to because of that opening, that sharp anise, and it's like a very bracing, sharp opening, and it has that anise scent, a really rugged, woodsy, mossy scent as well. And it's definitely more barbershop the more you get used to it. Initially it was like too strong for me to wear. I just wasn't used to those types of fragrances. And then, like I always say, I eventually tried a scent called Cuba Black from Cuba Paris, and that's like a clone of this, but it's a much smoother one. And I'm like, oh, that's really nice. Let me revisit Azzaro Pour Homme. And then I absolutely loved it again. And soapy and sharp anise. I love the scent. The stuff's great. Super barbershop. Again, a 70s one. It's really a cousin to these, and that's why I wanted to talk about these first. But pick your poison, really. Whichever one of those three you may like better. It just depends on. I love them all, and I'll wear them all throughout the year, anytime. It's a classy scent, masculine scent, more of a rugged. If you think about Rive Gauche, more of a rugged, sharper, less smooth version of that. This one. Again, the soapiness is real here, and it's so clean. It's just awesome. Again, these three are probably some of the, if not best, barbershop fragrances ever. And, they still make it. You can get it. Azzaro has a ton of different scents, but the original one is for sure the best. Okay, so for the fourth installment in this list, this is a fragrance. It's actually pretty hard to find in the United States. I know when I bought mine, it was from a site overseas in the UK, and it's a scent called Mandate. I finished my first bottle. I've done a full review on this one. Definitely check that out for more of an in-depth take on it. It's been a little while since I broke this one out, but let's spray some out here again. Essentially, guys, this one is Azzaro Pour Homme, but with like citrus in the top and a little bit like way toned down anise, but it's still got that soapiness. Just the sharpness is going to be a little bit more citrus. Azzaro Pour Homme, Paco Rabanne Pour Homme, again, similar to that type of thing. Just, I think, a lighter, and it has more of an emphasis in the opening with, I think, lemons or bergamot. It's bergamot and everything, but it's citrus, a little bit less green, more citrus, soapy scent. Really nice, really classic, really masculine scent, inexpensive. That's the nice thing about a lot of these. They don't cost a lot of money, and you can smell great. And if you're looking for a classic masculine scent to wear any type of day, whether it's daily, whether, you're doing it for work or whatever, it doesn't matter. These are all great choices, and Mandate is like that. But I think opening wise, you're just going to get a blast of that citrus, and then it's that soapy sort of fougere dry down, really nice, and it does not cost a lot of money at all. Okay, up next, fragrance number 5 on this list. I wanted to include something a little bit lighter, a little bit more toned down. The other ones, they have really sharp or bright openings, and they're definitely in your face and way more rugged. This one is much smoother, still going to be inexpensive, but still has that barbershop vibe, and it's Pinot Silvestre's Black Musk. This is one that came out not too long ago, and they no longer have the built-in sprayer in the pine cone top, so you have to take it off. But, it's a scent that when I first smelled it, I thought, wow, this is an inexpensive Rive Gauche. This, how I said, like, Azzaro is more rugged, sharper in the opening, rougher in the opening. This is really toned down. Has that sort of like, licorice anise scent in the opening. Very light scent though, if you want something that's subtle, something that's casual that you can wear anytime, but you love that type of barbershop fougere and you want something like Rive Gauche, again, not direct clone, but in that same vein, and you can't get that. This is a great alternative. Plus, they have an aftershave spray, deodorant spray, shower gel, shampoo. You can get all of that, and it's nice to layer it. That'll help with the performance. But Pinot Silvestre Black Musk is definitely an underrated, inexpensive fragrance, and if you love that type of barbershop fougere scent, you'll like this one, especially if you want something that smells like the Rive Gauche, again, with that anise, black licorice, and muskiness. It's not musky like a dirty musky. It's very clean scent, and that's why I think it falls into that barbershop category. Okay, fragrance number 6, I think musk and oak moss are definitely notes that you commonly see in barbershop fragrances, and when they're done right, when they're not too much and they smell clean, that's what makes another fantastic example of a barbershop fragrance. And this from Albuson, this is Futuros. This is exactly that. It's musky, it's mossy, it lasts, and it's super clean at the same time. You think of something that's gonna smell dirty or really rugged or rough, too outdoorsy, woodsy, but it doesn't. It's actually very clean, and it's amazing how it does it. And it's like, it's such an obscure scent. It's discontinued, it's harder to find, but if you can get it, I'm telling you, buy it. You will not be disappointed if you love green and musky type of fragrances. That's why it reminds me of a barbershop scent, because when you spray it on, you spray it in the air, you're like, oh wow, this is reminiscent of some other things, but it does its own, it has its own scent profile. It's not a clone or a wannabe of anything else. It just sort of, again, falls into that category with the greenness and a little bit of a musky background, followed up with the oak moss, surrounded by the oak moss, I should say. It's definitely a moss bomb. If you're a fan of that, you'll love this, and I think it's a good barbershop scent that, if you can find, you'll really enjoy. Fragrance number 7, guys, sometimes cinnamon can be a note that I associate with barbershop fragrances. If you saw my Balenciaga Pour Homme, there are parts of that because that's so well done where I'm like, wow, this smells like a really woodsy barbershop scent. And then there are other examples of it when I don't think it's too much, it's too sweet, it smells too gourmand-ish. But when you find an inexpensive scent that has cinnamon and then turns to an amazing green, brown, soapy smell, very clean, very fresh, very right out of the barber's, Halston Z14 is an amazing example of that. And if you want something daily, something easy, something soapy to wear, this is awesome. It's such a clean scent, and that's why I bought when I found it. And again, I've had a vintage or an older version. It smells good, but I don't know. I sort of like the newer one, the one you can get. And I got this massive 8-ounce bottle, I think at a Burlington or a TJ, so one of those. I think it's Burlington actually, for pennies on the dollar. Like, it's so cheap, but it smells so good. And if you just are looking for one barbershop scent out of this mix and you don't want to spend a lot of money at all, not that any of these are expensive, but you just want something nice, something clean, fresh, but you love soapiness and you love that kind of green or brown soap with a little bit of a cinnamon and green opening, citrus opening, get this. It's very good. It's one of the most underrated classics, actually. And I know I don't talk about it enough. I don't wear it enough. But when I saw it, when I was picking out fragrances to make in this video today, I'm like, I got to talk about this one because barbershop wise, like when you put it on, you're like, oh yeah, that's right out of the barber's, and it smells so great, so clean. Give it a chance if you haven't tried it yet. All right, and finally, the last fragrance on the list, fragrance number 8, the Italian barbershop scent, the classic drugstore. That's Denim Original, or Denim for Men. The loudest fragrance in this list. Green, leathery, soapy. This stuff has it all, musky, mossy. It's honestly, I love denim. I've gone through a lot of bottles of denim. It's beast mode performance. It projects, like the other ones I've mentioned, it's been up and down the charts in terms of performance. This one kicks ass in performance and smells unfreaking believably good. If you get the bottle that's black and you can't see through, still awesome. If you get this one, still awesome. Again, no big difference at all. Smells so good. Just, it's like one of those clean and dirty at the same time fragrances, like a Koros. Different scent, but it has that type of performance type of scent profile where you're like, you can't tell if it's dirty or clean, but that's when you know it's a great scent too. Last a long time, very barbershop too, because again, these inexpensive ones tend to be something that you would more likely see at a barbershop unless you're at some ridiculously high-end one that has an Acqua di Parma Colonia or anything. And I was going to include that one, but I wanted to keep it, more in the classic. Not that that's not a classic, but inexpensive ones, because those are the most fun when it comes to barbershops and the best. So like this one, again, denim smells so good. It's hard to put into words when I'm doing it on the spot for a list video like this, but it opens up, there's a leather in there, there's green, there's a little bit of citrus, there's a brightness, but it lasts. It's a whole mix of things done so well. Denim Original for Men is fantastic. You gotta try it if you haven't. Okay guys, that was my list of 8 amazing barbershop classic fragrances for men. I hope you enjoyed the picks today. Please let me know in the comment section if you've tried all of these. I know many of you have. If you haven't, do you like them? Do you dislike them? Which ones would you guys have put on this list instead? Please let me know in the comment section. I always appreciate all the interaction. Make sure to go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so yet. Make sure to check out the Instagram page. Also check out the link to my Mercari page, which is in the description below, along with the other links for Eros Perfume Outlet and Masudo button-down shirts. Guys, thanks so much for watching and hanging out with me today, and I will see you all in the next video. Take care.